Test. Test. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Or again. Sorry, not today. Again. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it for those of you that followed me over. Thank you. All right, all right, all right. So let's get this shit started. Now, again, not picking on the gays, but nonetheless, guys, the LGBT community is always going to think someone's picking on them for whatever reason. As soon as you speak out against them, that's it. You're homophobic and you're an asshole and, you know, you're a piece of shit and I hope you die. Your mother should have swallowed you and all those other crazy shit that you hear from them. Because they can't take constructive criticism well. And, it's just like when you have a gripe with them, you're homophobic. And that's it. There's no fucking... there's no what you call it. There's no in between, guys. It's just, you know, that's it. You're an asshole. You're homophobic. So now, Dave Chappelle, we're going to talk about towards the end of the night because that actually also has something to do with why I'm talking about this. But National Coming Out Day is very, very, very super annoying. The LGBT community has an entire month, right? They have an entire month of LGBTness. And yet they need in October a coming out day. Now, they try to make this month Gay History Month as well. And then inside Gay History Month have coming out day. Enough already. Enough with the bullshit. Enough with the fucking, Gay Pride Parade, and then Coming Out Day, and then Gay History Month, and then, the first gay to walk on Spade Week. Enough already with these making up the bullshit. So now, why do I single them out? Well, first of all, I single them out because it's annoying. Secondly, it's stupid, and it's not needed. I don't know, guys. It's weird. So, with the National Coming Out Day, and I'm going to get back to something the LGBT community did too. They did something the other day, or not the other day, probably a month ago, I don't know when it was. They did something that was just strange, and that was their acronym. Their acronym got even worse. So yes, thank you for bringing it up. Superman, or Superman's son, comes out as bisexual. So they're like, the reasoning for this is so that everyone could see themselves in every character. Fucking really? Seriously. There's enough gay characters out there. Apparently Wonder Woman's a lesbian. Robin is bisexual, and now Superman's son's bisexual. Do we not see where this is going? This is enough already. It's fucking up to here with making known characters gay or a part of the LGBT community, or queer, sorry. There, Superman's son, and not only is Superman's son bisexual, which is gay, yes, he's called the Earth of Superman, or Superman of Earth, sorry. That's Superman's son. And not only is Superman's son bisexual, he has a relationship with a male news reporter, like his father had a relationship with a female news reporter. That was a bit on the nose, if you ask me. That's number one. It's insane. But John, yeah, please do me a favor. I'd like to hear those ideas. I would love to hear those ideas. Bjorn. I'd like to hear those ideas, by the way. What is that? Skype me or whatever it is. We'll talk on that later. Right, again, so guys. So they used Superman as coming out. They had Iceman, right? Iceman in Marvel comic, he's gay, right? It's like, what the fuck? And why does every comic book hero have to have a bit of a gay theme to them? The fucking gay population is like 5% of the United States. I don't know what it is of the world. 5% of the United States, and you are making main characters gay. They even talked about making Captain America gay. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll be the first to say this. They make Captain America gay. Marvel Comics Studio will have to burn to the fucking ground. Sorry. Alright? It's enough already with this bullshit. Seriously. Making these known characters gay for what? For what? Right? They made what was it, Catwoman all of a sudden, the other Catwoman, she was gay as well. I'm like, how many gay characters are you gonna make the entire Marvel comic and DC comic characters gay? Batman all of a sudden was raping Robin, and he's gonna come out, I'm ashamed of myself, I used to diddle Robin's penis, and then he's gonna come out as gay too? Like, where the fuck does this end? And why isn't the comic book community having enough of this? Now, there was a bit of a pushback with Robin being bisexual and Superman's son being bisexual. There is a pushback, and those storylines might die. They might. But why do they insist on pushing this shit? Skywalker goes, Captain America is gay. His man crush is Bucky. Well, isn't Bucky dead? So, Bob, man, yeah, I'm not going to Google that. That whole fucking, the whole, what you call it, can men get pregnant? No, men cannot fucking get pregnant. Okay, so, because I lose my shit on and guys, there are old school gay people I know who are not subscribing to this bullshit. That's one. So there's a show on FX, right? It's called Why the Last Man, right? The Last Man Standing or something like that. This liberal fucking show, all the men on planet Earth died. All the men or all the people with Y chromosomes die. And only women are left. So there's a few parts in the show where they go, did all the men die? No, there are plenty of men that are still alive, only those with Y chromosome. I'm like, that's what a fucking man is, and that's the exact definition. So they have, in the TV show, more transgender men, that's women becoming men, in the show than it's viably possible. Because, guys, it's a liberal show. And every time they go, well, all the men are dead. Not all the men are dead. Look at that. And then they have like these transgender dudes in the fucking corner. These little, skinny, hipster-looking men pretending to be women are hanging out in the show. By the way, guys, this video is going to get demonetized. I'm going to tell you right now. I have no problems with it. Zero. But, guys, and so with this TV show, it's super fucking bad. It's inherently bad. It's they're sitting there saying, oh, well, the transgender community, they're men, and there's still plenty of men left. No, there's not. That's not how it works. And then it's funny, because at the beginning of the show, I made a fucked up joke, and I was like, when all the guys died, I'm like, wow, there must have been a lot of women that died as well. And, the wife and I, we laughed about it. Lo and behold, first transgender man comes stepping in the scene. Well, I'm still alive. I'm like, because you're not a guy. That's why. And then there's a couple of scenes where the transgender try to make themselves the victims, even in a circumstances where the world ended. Because all men are dead. The world has turned to shit, clearly, because now women have to pick up the pieces. And they can't have kids that are, first of all, they can't have kids. And for those that are pregnant, a lot of the kids wind up being like aborted or miscarried, because of this whole thing. But now the world comes to an end, and there's this one character on the show trying to have a fucking pity party for themselves. You don't know what it's like. People look at me and I have to explain to them. Motherfucker, they'll figure it out. If you're still alive and you look like a dude, the people will figure it out. Worst show ever, guys. Worst fucking show ever. It's such a liberal prick show, I can't fucking take it. So I stopped watching. I'm like, I'm done with it. I do try to stay faithful to the show right to the end, but I couldn't. I mean, it's just insanely bad. Right? And that's the other thing. A guy and a monkey survives, and they're like, whatever. Stupid show. So, guys, with that, I know the could you really imagine the Hulk being gay? Listen, Cyan Wrath, I could see them making him gay. He comes out in a fucking in a dress and fucking Frisco, right? I could see him saying that. It's fucking bad, guys. They're trying to make every character gay or part of the queer community. Listen, man, you want to be gay, that's fine. You want to have a couple gay superheroes, that's fine. But when you start making characters who've been in our world forever all of a sudden gay, that's a problem. Thank you for the donation. Horatio, thank you for the donation. I'm pretty sure I fucked that name up. But no, it's just about all the men that died. And then listen, that's the other thing about the show. All the men died, and then they start throwing their stupid political bullshit in there. They start talking about right-wing conservatives and anti-vaxxers in the same sentence. Oh, those Democrats, they're idiots. I'm like, yo, all the men on the planet just died. You guys are about to fucking starve, lose power, fucking can't have kids anymore. The human race is going to cease to exist. And yet, you're throwing stupid political comments in there, and anti-vax is this, and Trump, they didn't mention Trump, but certain president followers, and I'm like, yo, get it together. The fucking world just came to a fucking screeching halt, and they're worried about who's fucking, it's bad. And there's an absorbent amount of lesbians in the show. That's the other thing. I'm like, I get that they're lesbians, and I get that they're, well, all the men are dead. I get that they're lesbians, and I get that they're transgenders, but there's an absorbent amount of these people in the show. It's insane. I mean, like, again, guys, and then there's an absorbent amount of man haters. These bitches coming out good for the guys. They're dead. Fuck them. These guys touched me. He did that. I'm like, oh god, it's a bad show. I'd rather watch fucking Rosie O'Donnell rub spam all over her tits at this point. That's how bad the show is. It's incredibly bad, guys. I'm sorry I even went there, but that's a bad show. Oh, horrible. And the more I start thinking about it, and then there's this dumb shit they do because it's lazy writing on top of it being a bad show. It's bad, man. Whatever. Let's move along. But again, guys, National Coming Out Day, it's a fucking fraud. It's fucking stupid. Whatever. It's not needed. National Coming Out Day, they got a whole month of June to come out. They have a whole month of June to fall out of the closet, right? But whatever. So, guys, sorry about that. Switching gears, let's talk about the tension with China and the shit that's going on there. Are we going to jump into World War III with China? I don't know. With the current leadership right now, I do not know if they even have the balls to fix their lips to even throw sanctions at China. I don't see it. I don't see us getting in a war with them. I see China walking all over the United States and taking more countries because they know the psych patient, Biden, and his, that asshole who's a vice president. I don't know. I don't see it, guys. Gabriel, yeah, you know what? I would agree with you that World War III probably won't look like what we think it might look like. We're thinking nuclear bombs and all kinds of shit. You're right. It's probably economic and or cyber, right? Listen, guys, China's in a bad way right now, and they do not have the money to do what they're about to do. They're going to put their fucking... They're going to put their foot in a hole, and they're going to break it off. They're going to attack Taiwan. They're going to stretch themselves thin. They're not going to have the money they need to back them up. Now, here is how we can stop China, guys. And I hate to say this, because a bunch of the movies that I like are by this company. Skydance. Skydance is a Chinese movie company. Stop going to watch their movies. If you can get it on the internet for free, by all means. Stop watching Chinese movies. Period. That's one way. The other way is, with all of these shortages happening, we should be learning how to build a lot of this shit on our own so we no longer have to deal with them. This is how we take the power away from a company. You know that we are financially supplying a country to attack us. That makes zero sense. But that's what's happening. These motherfuckers are going to war with our money, right? We are buying their products. We are having products made in their country. And then we are paying these people by buying the products. The taxes go to China, and then China takes that tax money and moves it into their military and all other bullshit in their country. Right? It's not that simple, but it's, right? So now, why are we still going to the movies? Fuck Chinese-made movies. I want to see Top Gun 2 in the worst way, but I'm going to pass on it. I'm not going to the theaters to see any of their movies. Any Chinese-backed movies I'm out on, and I'm doing my best to buy American-made products, even if that means it falls the fuck apart. And guys are like, don't buy American. I'll buy American, guys. I will buy American and fix it myself if I have to. I don't care. But we cannot keep supplying China, because that's what we're doing. We're supplying them with our own demise, because they're eventually going to attack us. Thank you, F libtards. That's exactly what I said. Right? We're supplying them for what? Dr. Detroit. Yeah, some of us still pay for movies. You know, like I said, I wanted to see The Matrix in the theaters. I gotta fucking, find out who's fucking dabbling in that. I might just sit home and see it. Because now, here's the other thing too: sitting home and watching the movies screws over the movie companies big time, guys. So instead of going to movie theaters to see The Matrix, Dune, the next Top Gun movie, stay home and see it. You stay home and see it, it fucks them big time. That's why they're in such a hardship right now. Pinball preparedness. Yes, people are saying, well, no, when it comes to cars, people are saying don't buy American. Right? They're like, oh, stay away from American, it's garbage. I'd rather drive in a fucking garbage truck at this point, made in America, than ride in anything fucking Chinese or Japanese. I don't have anything against Japanese. I just rather support American, even if that means my wheel falling off on a fucking highway going 80 miles an hour. But that's me. You know, guys, I mean, again, we are in a fucking bad way, and we're supplying assholes with fucking our money to attack another country that Biden is not going to back up at all. The tension's so high right now, you can cut it with a fucking chainsaw, right? I mean, it's insane. Insane. And here we are, we're like, oh, let's go see X, Y, and Z movies. Let's go let's go buy this, let's go buy that. We're supplying these people to attack another country and possibly in the long run attack us. Now, they having their own financial problems right now that I'm hoping continues and crushes them. Because then we can make the fucking shot. We can call the shots, rather. Ghetto Prepper, thank you for that. And by the way, I like that name, Ghetto Prepper. And thank you for the email. I will definitely read it, and I'll be picking your brain about that. Dolores, I'll drive a Ford. I'll drive a Chevy, right? Chevys are American, right? I'll drive a Chevy as well. But I'm not buying, not buying anything Chinese made. And I'm assuming that's if Chevy still owned American. Thank F. Liptard. Appreciate it. Yeah, The Watchmen. The Red Dawn movie was a fucking disaster. Disaster. I mean, it was supposed to be the Koreans attacking. No, the Chinese attacking. And then they turned around and said, oh, we're offended by this movie. You have to make it the Koreans, the North Koreans, which is highly unlikely. Whatever. I don't know, guys. We need to just stop with the fucking the Chinese shit. And as far as the tension goes, their Navy has been swelling up. They've been building ships at a massive rate the last couple of years. Not this year, I don't think. A few years ago, they were going into overdrive building fucking ships. They have a drone right now, guys, that has the airstrike capabilities of a fighter jet. And I'm talking about, if I'm not mistaken, it can move like a fighter jet, and it has the speed of a fighter jet. And this is something they just released, I guess, or we just found out this week, I guess. I'm still reading the whole story on that drone, but they have drone capabilities. That's insane right now. And here we are. Chevrolet is not American. Frank P. Chevrolet is who then? Second hand impossible. Yes. See me? See me. Yes, you're right about that. Stop consuming most of their shit. Exactly. F. Liptards, thank you for the donation, man. I appreciate it. I don't know, guys. I think tonight's going to be a fairly short night. I'm getting out the way when I want to get out the way, and unless we have an open conversation on here, it's probably going to be a shorter night. And yes, it was a long fucking, long 2 days, man. I had the longest 2 days I've had in a long time. So again, I'm tired. I'm trying to fucking grind out videos, do live streams, go to work, like every other YouTuber, doing the same fucking shit. We're not doing anything different, Chevrolet is General Motors, and then General Motors is still American, no? Well, Christian Prepper. So, yes, China is going to attack. They're going to do it soon. And they know, they probably have Joe Biden's word, or whatever word he can give. Listen, you attack, I promise you we won't do anything. And so that's giving them the fucking, giving them the balls to do so. Now, Liam, I love my movies. The one thing I'm not stopping is watching the movies. I am going to figure out a way how to get them for free. That's for fucking sure. But I love movies, man. I'm not giving that up. That is my vice. Movies, movies, movies. Listen, I watched a very, very shitty movie the other day. Thanks to my son, right, my little guy. Watched a movie called Zoombies. Yes, I said it. Zoombies, right? Z-O-O-B... Z-O-O-M-B-I-E-S. Zombies. Where the animals became zombies for no apparent reason. It was the worst movie on God's green earth. The movie was so bad that Sharknado was an Academy Award-winning movie. That's how bad it was, guys. I mean, it was ridiculously bad. Guys, if you get a chance to see it, if it pops on the screen on Netflix, do not watch this movie. It was horrendous. Yes, Carol Cooks. Watch Squid Games instead. Chelsea, yes. You know what? I'm going to tell you, put it like this. My son started watching the movie, and he walked away from it to play with his toys. And instead, like an asshole, I continued to watch it. And now I'm watching this, and I'm like, this is bad. And the whole time, I'm like, this is a terrible movie. But I couldn't turn my eyes away from it. It was like watching a car wreck. The acting was insane. Matthew Johnson, thank you for the donation. And yes, I eat fish. And it was just horrendous, guys. The special effects was even worse. It was like the monkey jumped on their neck, but instead of the monkey being here, it was bad CG. So the guy was moving, and the monkey was just staying still. It was fucking horrible. And yet I kept watching it. Then there was a part where the elephants turned into zombies, and they're like, oh my God, it was bad. It was fucking horrible. Don't ever watch this movie. Ever. You know what? There was a movie called Ratpocalypse. Ratpocalypse, guys, I thought was a bad movie. First of all, it was the worst movie ever. Worst movie ever. Velociraptor. Velociraptor. Really? That was a bad movie too? Listen, it's all bad, guys. It's all bad. Ratpocalypse was even worse. That's where people in Russia were turning into rats. And they were turning into rats because of greed. So the politicians were being greedy, and they were turning to rats. And when they were turning to rats, guys, the special effect was so bad in this movie, they were turning to rats, they had to stay super still for the stupid CG to transform them. And they would just stay like this. And then they would morph into a rat. It was fucking bad. And yet, I couldn't turn away from the movie. And Ratpocalypse, I remember I was at the firehouse. It was in between runs. And I got to watch, I'm going to tell you right now, I try to watch a movie at the firehouse. We always get interrupted with bullshit. Always get interrupted, or we actually go to a fire, right? So now, this movie comes on. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and like a fucking asshole, I'm watching it. And I'm watching it in disgust. So I'm sitting there looking at the movie like, oh God, what the fuck look at that. Not the violence, the acting and the special effects. Horrible. But I stayed up to 5 in the morning. No, 4:30 in the morning watching this fucking movie. I was so mad at myself when I was the next morning. Right, I lay down. I went to sleep pissed off, guys. I'm like, I go to sleep. I'm fucking mad. I wake up. I was pissed. I was like, why the fuck did I watch this movie? It's called Ratpocalypse. That kid from Starship Troopers, Casper Van Dien, whatever his name is, he was in the movie. That shows you where his career went. Holy shit, guys. That was fucking bad. So then I watched Zoombies, and I'm like, my God. A movie worse than fucking Ratpocalypse. Zoombies. Strange Foot. Now, Sharknado was good, because Sharknado went out of its way to be stupid. But these actors in Ratpocalypse and Zoombies, they were being fucking legitimately real. They were like, we have to save the animals. And it was like the worst acting ever. And then somehow, guys, the bird sanctuary, that was a horrendous scene. So there's a bird sanctuary scene, and they're they're enclosed. They're inside a fucking sanctuary. There's nothing's open. None of the animals can get in. Somehow, one of the birds gets infected. And then the bird starts flying around and biting other birds. And they're inside this thing, and then a parakeet flies in the guy's head and kills him, and then a lady gets clipped on her legs, and then the bald eagle, which is in a bird sanctuary, by the way, with other fucking birds that a bald eagle couldn't exist with, is laying eggs in her womb. It was bad. Guys, woo! I should have hit the fucking screen with a baseball bat or my fist. It was so bad. It was horrible. It was horrendous. But I couldn't stop watching it. And then I thanked my son. I'm like, thanks, man. Thank you for making me watch this movie. You know, it was holy shit. Guys, really, I'm telling you right now. I don't know. Rapocalypse and Zombies, bad. And me and my brother, we have a thing for bad movies. Like, I love watching bad movies, but this is bad. This is horrendous. Holy shit. You know what? I felt like, oh God, I felt like a piece of my fucking, my intelligence died with those movies. You know? Bella Prepper. Yeah, they probably were gay. Because, I mean, everything in that movie was fucking horrendous. Holy shit. It was bad, guys. It was super bad. Anyway, let's talk about, sorry for the rant in those movies, man. Yeah, me and my brother, we used to have like B movie night, but guys, these were worse than B movies. It was like a Z movie. It was so bad. It was probably off the chart of the alphabets. It was horrendous. And then again, like you watch some of the actors in it, and the Zoombies, there was not one actor that was recognizable, not one. So you're like, okay, this is a shit movie. And then you see them running around, yo, we gotta save them. And then like, you know, and then they run over and then they stop, and it'd be like a 5-second pause, and it'd be like, and whatever's happening is happening, and they're not fucking, you know, they're not like reacting to it yet. They're like, and they're staring at this thing happen instead of shooting it or fucking stepping on it or burning it. They're like waiting for it to flourish into a fucking, holy shit, man. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this movie? It's bad, man. Yes, and I heard of Rubber, and there's even a worse one, guys. There's one with a couch that eats people. I haven't seen that one yet, but I'm probably gonna watch it, and you're gonna hear me complain about it. But I don't get it, guys. And then they make sequels to these movies. Oh my God, they make sequels to these movies. There's a Zombies 2. They have a part 2, the Zombies. We can't even get a fucking what is it called? God damn it, the Will Smith movie with the zombies. Shit, the hell's the name of that movie? I Am Legend. We can't even get an I Am Legend 2. We got Zombies part fucking 2. Holy shit, guys. It's fucking insane. It's like, I mean, how much... You know when you're a kid and you're like, I want to be an actor. I want to be a great actor. And then your parents are like, you could do whatever you want to do, son. You can go and act. And if your son ended up in a movie called Zoombies, you should disown his fucking ass. You just own your daughter for being in a movie that's... I would rather my fucking kids be in porn instead of one of those movies. Hands down. And I'm totally against that. But it... Oh, God. Guys. You don't... Zombies. And then a part fucking 2. It's fucking bad. It's horrendous. It's just... How could you make a part 2? Here's the other thing. Everything died in the bird sanctuary. For some reason or another, guys, every animal in the zoo ran into the bird sanctuary for some strange reason. Like, they were stupid. They were like, okay, here we go. And they ran inside. And then the lady was like, hasta la vista. Said some corny line like, hasta la vista. And she dropped the match. And then the fucking thing blew up with gasoline. Oh, God. My brain is fucking hurting. I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, this is stupid. This is stupid. It's so bad. It was so bad. It was just fucking, it was horrendous. Zombies. And then a part 2. I can't even fucking get it. I've been waiting for I Am Legend prequel or part 2. They won't give that to us. But Zombies 2, they're like, you know what? You got your money for Zombies 2. I'm going to give you $2,500 and make a sequel. Ugh. What the fuck, man? Seriously. Zombie. Oh my God, guys. And the budget on those movies. I'm 1,000% sure I could shoot a better movie on my iPhone. Way better. Dude, and when the people were getting ripped apart, it was weird. Because dude, the giraffes were zombies. The giraffes, and they were like biting the neck and the leg and ripping people apart and screaming. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, oh, God. Zombies. There's a lot of bad movies out there, guys. I mean, you ever see... a lot of bad movies. So many bad movies. And imagine, right? You watch some... you know what? We absolutely could make a better movie than that. Holy shit. It was bad, man. Remember, I mean, some of you might some of you are that older remember Ishtar? Like, Ishtar was the worst movie ever made. That was with Warren Beatty, and I think it was Dustin Hoffman, right? That was a bad movie, and they rated it as bad, and it was fucking, oh my God, it was a horrible movie. They didn't fucking see Zoombies. They didn't see that, because then Ishtar would look like a fucking the best movie ever made. Holy shit, man. You know, there must be directors rolling over in their graves because of movies like this. Rolling over in his graves. They're like, what the fuck did we allow people to do? We gave them a video camera and they gave us Zoombies. You know, like, holy shit. Oh, Mulberry Street was okay, but Mulberry Street was an independent film. You know? Oh, God, man. I mean, listen. Nothing... I'm waiting for fucking, like, you know, Angry Cocks, and that's like a bunch of fucking dildos eating people or some shit. That's gotta be next. That's gotta be next, guys. Fucking cock dildos eating people, and then, you know, fucking, shit balls, man. And like, you know the worst thing about these movies is that someone made this movie with conviction. They said, they poured their heart into this movie. They said, this movie is going to be the greatest movie ever. And they put their heart and soul into this movie. And they when they were done, everybody clapped and celebrated. And then this guy puts it out there, and he's like, this is a good movie. I directed this movie. I would fucking kill myself if I made a movie like that. I would have hung myself. Holy shit, man. These guys are like, and the actors are posing for their actor profile on IMDb. They're like, and then you type in Zoombies, and you see these clowns in it, and they're like posing like this and shit. They're like, what the fuck is going on with, like, oh my God. Such a bad, I'm sorry, guys. It's just, what the fuck was going on with these movies? Pedro Pinball. Vote for Pedro Pinball. I like that one. Vote for Pedro Pinball. Yeah, guys. I don't know, man. This is... Deleted scenes from World War Z were good. Christian Prepper. I didn't get to see the deleted scenes from World War Z, but I'm definitely... Listen, that's another one. Why didn't we get a sequel to World War Z? But we got a Zombies too? I mean, like, God damn, man, really? Fucking Night of the Living Dildos and fucking Squirrel NATOs and Squirrels Attack. I mean, like, and somebody's sitting down right now writing a killer beaver movie, you know? And I think they did one, actually. Remember Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? We thought that was bad. Or Toxic Avenger. People thought those were bad, and they actually became classics. But there's no way Zoombies can be a classic. No way. No fucking way. It's insane. Fucking Zoombies. Guys, you don't listen. I would ask you guys to watch the first half hours of Zoombies, because the scene where the monkeys are coming in sick, and they're coming in with Marsburg virus, and they're coming in, and the guy, the doctor, right? So, needless to say, guys, I see a brother in the movie, I see a black guy in the movie, I'm like, no, brother, don't do it to your career. You're going to kill it, man, don't do it. And here he is, he's in the movie, he's trying to save the monkey, he's giving the monkey CPR, he's like, you know, he's doing two-finger technique on the monkey, and we got to save the monkey, we're going to save him at all costs. This is in the movie. This is a legitimate line that comes out of his mouth. We're going to save this monkey at all costs. And the nurse is like, but you can't use that serum. It's not tested yet. And then they give the monkey the serum. And then the monkey, like, you know, dies. And then it falls over and dies. He's giving a CPR, mind you, and it falls over. Okay. Then the monkey comes back, and the monkey starts screeching, and then... And these people ruin their acting careers. Their acting career is done. If these people came to me for a movie role and they were doing an audition and I looked at their fucking thing and I'm like, you in Zoombies? No, the fuck out of here. No way I'm having anybody in Zoombies in my movie. Even if I did a low budget prepper movie, they're out. I'm not putting them in there. No way. Sarafina, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Yo, it was bad. I mean, like, the people ended their career single-handedly by being in this movie. Night of the Living Pronouns. Jason, we should definitely do that movie. Night of the Living Pronouns. That would be fun. Zombies 2, Electric Boogaloo. See, now, I can tell you're old. You brought out Breaking. You said Zombies 2, Electric Boogaloo, but that was a Breaking movie. Yo, that's horrendous. All right, so, thank you, Caffeine Preps. Let's talk about David Chappelle. While we're talking about bad acting, because remember that movie he was in? What was it called? Half Baked, right? Uh, that was actually a funny movie. But anyway, so David Chappelle. The only reason why I'm talking about him is because obviously he's been getting a lot of. There's been a lot of shit going on with David Chappelle because of the comedy special, The Closer. The Closer. No, sorry, The Closer was awesome. Was very good. Wasn't one of his best, but was very good. And he's been getting a lot of shit from the trans community and the LGBT community and even the black community. The black community. So, with that, guys, everybody's trying to push back, get him canceled. Netflix is dropping a hammer like, fuck you, we ain't doing it. Right? Because you figure if Netflix let cuties stay on their platform, they're going to let this stay on. And the problem is David Chappelle had a message with everything that he was talking about. It wasn't just he was making swipes at the gay community or swipes at the trans community. He had a message in it. And so with that, guys, chaos ensued. And listen, I would never have thought in a million years that a bunch of trans, or not a bunch, but I think it was 2 trans in Netflix, tried to storm a leadership meeting. This was yesterday, I think. They tried to storm a leadership meeting to get Netflix to pull Dave Chappelle's show off Netflix. And Netflix, yes, you're right. Someone mentioned it. Netflix is backing him. Netflix is standing by him, right? JC mentioned it, yes. And so they tried to storm the leadership meeting, and Netflix executives are like, yo, we ain't having this shit, and fired them. They fired an actual trans person, which is awesome, because they're letting these motherfuckers know, yo, you ain't running this show. This is our company. You're not going to come up here and think this is fucking New York City and start looting, rioting, and fucking acting a fool. You're out. And so what did they do? They fucking they fired a lot of people today for fucking pulling that bullshit. American Freedom, I'm a little surprised too, but it's also a little early in the night, so we'll see. And so anyway, guys, with Dave Chappelle, that the trans community is asking for him. There was actually a producer or director of a Netflix show that threatened to quit if they didn't pull the show down. Netflix is like, go ahead, we'll find somebody else. Yo, Netflix ain't having it anymore, man. You know, and it's not even Netflix. People are getting tired of the cancel culture bullshit. I am so tired of the cancel culture. The cancel culture, guys, it goes 8,000 ways. The LGBT community is a gigantic fucking proponent of that shit. Proponent of it, sorry. They are absolutely fucking square bag assholes when it comes to this shit. They're the fucking worst. Why are you looking to cancel fucking the guy who's talking about the reason why he's upset with certain movements? Like the trans community, you know, I mean, he had a trans friend. So how's he transphobic if he had a transgender friend? Who was just like, you know, his good buddy. It was a chick. It was a dude trying to be a chick, but it was still his friend. You know? But nonetheless, he told a story about it, about his friend dying. I think the lady's name was, I don't know, shit, what the fuck was her name? But anyway, he told the story how he met her at one of his shows, and she appreciated him breaking trans people's balls because it made her feel like they were a part, or him feel like they were a part of, you know, the human experience. And that he got to talking. Daphne, thank you, 666, Daphne. And, you know, got to talking to Daphne. Daphne became his friend. There's a lot of you that don't know, you know, he let Daphne open up the show, one of his shows, and he says that, Daphne bombed. Daphne was a terrible comedian. But Daphne also knew how to fire back when someone broke his balls about being transgender. So, with that being said, Daphne wind up supporting and backing up Chappelle after Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones comes out, and Daphne backs him up, and Daphne starts getting fucking dragged under the fucking under the boat, if you will, right? And you know, Daphne starts getting berated by her own. The trans community starts ripping her apart, calling her a sellout, all this other bullshit. That being said, Daphne winds up killing herself 6 days after getting her shit destroyed on Twitter. So Dave Chappelle was really pissed about it, super pissed behind that, you know, and it sucks too because you know you like this person. I appreciate trans people who can realize that they are still whatever sex they are, but they're trying to live their life as the opposite sex. But they know that not everybody's going to accept them, and they're okay with that. And I'm okay with guys and women who realize that, because you're not trying to force or change somebody's mind. You're just trying to live your life. As long as no one bothers you, that's fine. And that was the whole premise of Daphne's standpoint. But no one saw that, and instead they you know, raked her over the coals, and then she wound up killing herself, right? So Anna B, you said we are connected. That's your EMS number, 274975. We are connected. Look it up. It's still on there. No shit. I forgot what mine was. I think mine is close to yours. My old EMT number is close to yours. I think it's 28 something 404. I think. So you've been on before me. You got on before me. But anyway, guys, with that being said, you know, Dave Chappelle's been getting fucking slack, and he doesn't give a fuck. That's the beauty about it. So people are trying to cancel him, and this was his last show. He's done. He got his $30 million. He made his last show. When the title, The Closer, came out, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be good because he's going to lay into people. He laid into people. And he tried to get his message across. And the problem with the LGBT community is they do not want to hear the message. They just want to scream and yell. And this is the younger generation, not the older generation. The older generation will listen. The older generation is not subscribing to this bullshit. The older generation just want to be left alone. As long as you don't bother them, that's all that matters. But the young generation, they want to cry about everything. Whether it's the LGBT community, the black community, these white little young stupid hipsters, they are all looking to yell and scream about shit that doesn't matter. And this is where we are. The young community are a bunch of fucking assholes. I don't care if you're LGBT, black, white, you're fucking an alien. Oh, by the way, we can't call them aliens because Demi Lovato said so. But, you know, doesn't matter, guys. It's getting out of control. And people are tired of the cancel culture. People are absolutely tired of the cancel culture. They had enough. Right? They had enough. Now, I can't find it, guys. I'm pretty sure some of you can. When I was talking about the LGBT community coming out, they did something weird with their LGBT acronym. There's a new one. It's like 2SLB something or another. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Just a month ago, it was LGBTQ AAII plus. Then before that, it was LGBTQ A plus. LGBTQ plus, LGBTQ TA plus. Now it's 2LPRXYZ apostrophe carry the 2 plus. What the fuck? You cannot take a group of people seriously if they continue to change their acronyms from fucking day to day. You can't. I can no longer take the LGBT community seriously when they keep changing their acronym every step of the way. There are people looking at this going, when the fuck did they add a number 2 to it? And what the hell's a number 2 mean? I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. But nonetheless, guys, I'm going to try to get you the correct acronym because I'm astonished by it. But I think it's like LGB... sorry. Okay, all right. I think I found it. Right, so now the current one is LGBTQIA+. All right. But then they got a new one. I think it's... Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. I thought one of you guys... There it is. But, right. Christian Prepper. LGBTQQIP2SAA. Now, they had it the other way around. They had it 2SP LGBTQ IA. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And why? Why? Right? Square root symbol equal plus negative. We all touch each other, we're all gay. Right? I mean, like, this is where it is. This is the formula to a disaster, is what it is. But yet, we keep feeding into the shit. Guys, when you keep feeding into a crying baby that doesn't shut the fuck up, all it does is it cries louder and it wants more. And it doesn't shut up and it doesn't appreciate what it has. And then it becomes spoiled and then it gets worse because it's still crying because it hasn't shut the fuck up from 5 years ago. But then they fucking say, well, we want to be recognized as this. And then you go, okay, we'll recognize you as that. Then you give them to that. What do? They're still crying. They're still carrying on. They're still being bitches. And then what happens? Then people have had enough of their bullshit. There are people who are allies, if you will, and I think that's what the A means. The A means allies. Allies of the gay community have had enough. They're like, yo, if I can't keep up with your acronyms, I don't want anything to do with you. Just say the LGBT community plus. That's it. The LGBT plus community. Done. It covers everyone. All right? Or just say everyone gay. Or everyone queer. Something. But you can't keep adding a fucking letter because you're going to steal all the letters in the alphabet. Then we'll be like A, B, C, D, and all the way to Z. Because you guys are going to cover it all. The LGBT community, unfortunately, guys, and I have to say this, it's not all of them. That's the crazy shit. It's the young assholes. It's the young knuckleheads. It's the young people who just want to change a letter so that they go, I did that. I added the 2P. Or I added the S. That's all they're doing. They're just doing it so that they can pat themselves on their back. They're not doing it for value. They're not doing it for recognition. They're doing it so that they can say they did. Not recognition meaning recognition of their group. They're doing it so that they can say they did it. There's no reason to add so many fucking letters to an acronym. It really isn't. So that you cover everyone, then just say the queer community. Done. Absolutely, it's out of the way. But no, these young assholes are selfish pricks. It is what it is, guys. Like I said, this video is already demonetized. I don't give a fuck. Because I am so tired. And that was the other thing, too, guys. When Dave Chappelle said there's only 2 genders, and he said that's a fact, apparently that pissed off the other side of the fucking LGBT community. He's right. There's only 2 genders. That's it, guys. Man and woman. Dick and vagina. Titties and pecs. That's it. There ain't anything else in between. All that other bullshit is bullshit. Trying to sit there and say you're calling yourself, my new pronoun today is bug, because I want to be referred to as a bug, so that's my new pronoun. You're a fucking psych patient. You're a psych patient if you think you are anything other than what you're supposed to be, which is human and doing the right thing. That's it. Everything else is just fucking fairy tale land. All right, so here we are. You know, we're going to sit there and dispute. Well, no, it doesn't have to be. The chromosomes are what also makes someone could be a woman or not a woman, but part of a dick. If she has a large clit, that's a dick, so she could technically be a man. No, it's not. It's a large clit. Sorry, ladies, for those of you watching. Right? I mean, and guys, they split hairs in the silliest ways. And then they get these kook scientists to follow along and go, well, you know what? Because there's this chromosome that lies in the shadows of the other chromosome, W, that chromosome is hiding their true form of who they really are. And I'm like, what? That made no sense. Psych patients, guys. Psych patients. We are giving this world up to psych patients. And please don't get me started on the furry bullshit. Please, that's enough already. Snuggle, fuggles, fuggle, snuggles. Guys, it's insane. We are fucking letting psych patients run this country. These motherfuckers were in a psych ward. And they said, get the fuck in the psych ward and don't come out until you're right. And they never get right and they stay there. So instead, we said, you know what? You got psych patients. Right? We're like, you guys got it now. We're going to treat you as equals because you deserve a better chance. And now they're driving the fucking car. I.e. the President of the United States and Kamala Harris, the Vice President. We have 2 psych patients driving now when they should have been in the fucking psych ward. Then we put them in the trunk of the car. Then we have them in the back seat. Now they're driving the fucking country into a fucking tree because of psych patients. Guys, the psych patient thing, for example, here in New York City has gotten so fucking bad. They are everywhere. If I throw a rock right now into a fucking crowd, I'm going to hit 5 psych patients. Why? Because that one guy says he has 5 people in him, right? Sarah, David, Douglas, Jimmy the Dick Face is in there somewhere, right? And this is where we are. We're letting fucking psych patients do what the fuck they want to do instead of trying to figure out why they're chemically imbalanced and keeping them inside a psych ward. But instead, we're like, we're going to treat you like a normal person. We're going to let you go out in the world. And then, when you let them out in the world, they're pushing people in front of trains, in front of traffic, punching them in the face for no reason, stabbing them for no reason, throwing their fucking parents off a fucking balcony, jumping off a balcony with their kids, throwing their fucking brother off the roof of a building, putting their fucking kids into a fucking microwave and or oven. But because we let fucking psych patients run the fucking world. And I mean, have a gamut at the city. Psych patients have no place in society. Until we can figure out why they are psychologically damaged, why they are chemically imbalanced, they have no place in society. They are running a fucking muck in major cities throughout the country. People are like, but they deserve a chance. The fuck they do. They deserve a chance in a nice psych ward called Shady Acres. They can play fucking bingo, watch The View, right? And relate to Biden on TV. That's all they get to do. But they do not get to fucking try to assimilate in society when they can't. And I'm talking about heavy psych patient guys. I'm not talking about people that have like, have like little anger issues or have a slight psychosis or suffer from anxiety. Not that shit. That's weak shit. That's pussy shit that could be corrected. We're talking about hard psych patients. All right, so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are killing motherfuckers for no reason, who are fucking punching babies in the face because they don't like the way the baby's crying, or stabbing babies. That happened a couple years ago, right? Again, guys, psych patients belong in a psych ward. They do not have the same rights as us, or rather, they should not have the same rights as us. And I'm talking about freedoms. I'm not talking about human rights. Human rights, that goes without saying. They deserve those rights. But as far as letting them run the fucking city, they don't. We got a fucking psych patient called Mayor de Blasio. He's running the city. Him and his psych patient of a daughter, that fucking weirdo asshole who fucking hates us. She hates her own father. Threw him under a bus a couple months ago, sorry. Right? But here we are, psych country. Everybody's turning around and doing all the psych patient shit they can. I should be a psych patient. I should run down the streets right now and rub Spam all over my face and say I love Michael Jackson. Maybe I'll get a fucking free housing and fucking, and a welfare check, and I could assimilate to society. Because psych patients, guys, they have these facilities. They put them in housings around the city. And when we go into these places for class 3s sometimes. Class 3s are an alarm system that goes off because somebody's smoking or doing something dumb. Occasionally there's a fire, it goes off, sprinkler system goes off, the class 3 goes off, we get sent. They have these buildings throughout the city, and they have all the amenities a regular building should have. They have a gym they never use. They get free movie tickets so that they take their mind off of whatever crazy shit they're watching. But if they watch Zoombies 2, I'm 1,000% sure they're gonna relapse. But anyway, and then they have all these things. They have testing options. They get free Metro cards. They're fucking treated with kid gloves. They're like, oh God, please don't break and stab me in the neck, right? And yet they continue to snap and break and fucking drive crime up, steal, break into cars, punching Chinese people in the face because whatever, they made a connection to Wuhan. You know what I mean? Like, they're doing all this crazy shit, and no one's saying that we need to put them back inside until we can figure out what their problem is. We're not doing that. Right? They're fucking spitting on fucking other people. Like, you look like my ex-wife. Like, I'm like, random shit. Like, really random shit. Matter of fact, yesterday, had a psych patient step in front of a vehicle. I got out of my car, and I chased the fucking asshole down. Now, this psych patient was wearing a fucking gay hat, had a handbag on, was a dude, trying to be a chick. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to be. Had heels on, stands in front of my car, and like, does this bullshit. I get out, and I want to grab him, and as soon as I grabbed him, he ran away screaming, like a girl, like high-pitched screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? And it ran away. And everybody who was standing there watching it started laughing. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Psych patients, man. This guy was skipping in the street and stops in front of my car and does a twirl or some shit, right? I'm like, what? And then stands there I'm like, he's being an asshole. So I get out of the car, and then, that happens. I start screaming and shit. Fucking cover my eardrums. I thought it was bleeding from my ears afterwards. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Guys, I'm telling you, psych patients are fucking running rampant in the city. Such a shame. And no one wants to do anything about it. De Blasio's wife was left in charge. Look what happened. Nothing, I don't know, man. I just tell you that fucking these psych patients, they don't have you know what? Not that they don't have a place. There needs to be more done on to understanding why they're so chemically imbalanced. Let's put it like that. Or they should be put back in Shady Acres with fucking Jimmy the Dickface, and they can play bingo together. Fucking play the same bingo game over and over again, because that's what psych patients do. Northern Girl Hobbies. No, they don't. They don't give a fuck. I mean, de Blasio's wife, she lost something like $40 million or $400 million of the city's money, and they did a study. They did a whole inquiry. Where did the money go? And she's like, well, I don't know. $400 million disappeared. Right? And someone says schizophrenic is real. Let's take care of them. Mark Olson, schizophrenia is real. They should be doing. Listen, they are doing studies on schizophrenics, but schizophrenics are another one that need to be locked away. You could only be, guys. Here's the problem with psych patients. Meds can only work for so long. The meds start to wear off, and then they're in a psych ward at 50, 60 years old because the meds don't do anything anymore. You could only do so much for so long. Yeah, right, guys. Right, she lost it. Right, so meds can only work for so long, guys. And people keep thinking, well, schizophrenia, they need help. Yeah, they need help. But unfortunately, guys, they can't be with society. And meds don't last long. Schizophrenics are the victims of violence, not the perpetrators. Cool boy, I'm going to call bullshit on that one, because I know a couple schizophrenics that threw their fucking brother and or grandmother off the roof and balcony of their building. So stop with that bullshit now. And schizophrenic is a fucking, used to be called demonic possessions, but schizophrenic is just it's a bad medical, chemical imbalance in the brain. Let's try to figure that shit out. Let's try to figure it out on the Prepper channel or on the Angry Truth channel. Let's try to figure out why they're so thrown off. National statistics. National statistics, my ass, is not going to save a fucking kid and a grandmother from being thrown off a building, or from a psych, or from an Asian lady getting punched in the face repeatedly. Fuck national statistics. This is what I'm seeing. So they can make it sound like that they're the fucking victims. Oh, schizophrenics. Oh, they're not. The shit that's going on here says otherwise. National statistics up my ass. All right? Because it's fucking bullshit. People are like, well, they need to be schizophrenic math professors. I don't know anything about that. Math professor. What about the schizophrenic math professor? Which one? The one from A Beautiful Mind? All right, so he's a 1 in a million? I mean, listen, not all schizophrenic are bad, but a lot of them they do bad shit. Let's put it like that. Natural born killers. Yeah, you're talking about one guy. You're gonna the millions of schizophrenic out there. You're gonna bring on one fucking dude, who was fucking talking to himself and writing numbers on glass. Come on. It's. Listen, yeah, I get what you're saying, cool boy. Stats will talk, granted, but not the shit that I've seen here in the city. I'm sorry. So unless you could tell me that the schizophrenic punched the Asian lady in the face and she was the perpetrator for being Asian and being there, then you know what? I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, cool boy, right. Bipolar is a chemical imbalance. Again, we should figure out the chemical imbalance of it all. That's all, right? I'm pretty sure it's simple. I'm pretty sure it could be something done naturally, right? Chew on a bark of a tree. I don't know. Something, Schizophrenic is genetics. Yes, it is. Sometimes it skips a generation. Sometimes it doesn't. So if it rears its ugly head in your 30s, I think it is, right? 30s and 40s, then somebody in your family was fucking eating somebody else or chopping their head off. I don't know. All right, I'm joking with that. I'm kidding with that. But, yeah. Schizophrenia is bad. And I've seen schizophrenia, guys. It sucks. It sucks. We should do Schizophrenia the movie. That would be awesome. Right? If Schizophrenia meets Zoombies, what would that look like? A very, very horrible movie. Right? A movie to make you want to kill yourself after you watched it because you wasted an hour and a half of your life watching this shit movie. So you might as well just end it. Schizo, zombie, shark rat apocalypse. Nice one, Caffeine Preps. Oh man. Yeah, man. I guess tonight was a decent night, guys. Again, so we hit the hour mark. I didn't think we were. Great nut. Oh, we are always nuts, guys. All of us have a psych patient in us ready to burst out and fucking get all crazy. And some of us know how to hold it back for a longer period of time. And then, you what you call it? One day you snap. You know, I know a lot of people who fucking... There was a lady who we picked up when I was in EMS. 18 years ago. Picked this lady up. She came down with schizophrenia when she was in the military. Sometimes it's brought on by trauma, and sometimes it's just, it rears its ugly head at the wrong time. Anyway, she got 86 from the military, and she also suffered from seizures. She had personality changing seizures, if that makes sense. There's a term for it, I can't remember it, but I remember saying that the mother would say she would stop and gaze off, and she'd be a different person. Right? But she also had schizophrenia to go along with it. A lot of shit was going on upstairs, man, you know? It was like fucking, it's like being in Inception and being dropped too many levels below and not coming back out. Catatonic or schizophrenic, right? So, anyway. Yes, Brian, I remember that LSD study. There was a bad side effect, though. That's why they didn't give it to them, schizophrenics. There was a bad side effect. I can't remember that. Anyway, guys. Mushrooms could be Bob Mann. That's a good one. I've heard a lot of good thing about mushrooms. As long as you're responsible, and that could help schizophrenics. It could. Right. The purring lady. Sorry. Yes, you're right. That's the problem with most psych patients. They start feeling good. They're like, I don't need this shit anymore. And then what happened? Right back to it. Right? Right back to licking glass and fucking, chasing fucking Asian people in the street with fucking fortune cookies and smacking them on the back of their heads. Right? That's what happens with these psych patients. They do the oddest things in the world, or they kill themselves. That's the other side of that coin. And when they kill themselves, they just don't kill themselves. They do it with a little bit of style, They're not boring about the way they kill themselves, fucking psych patients. So, that's the other problem with it. There's a lot of problems with it, guys. A lot of problems with psych patients when they do shit. Some shit you don't understand and other things you're like, fuck, What the fuck made him do that? Or whatever. All right, guys. So, thank you for joining me tonight. We're going to end it there, and I'm hoping for depressed zombies. And we're going to end it here tonight, guys. Again, thank you for joining me tonight. Mods, thank you for modding on both channels and doing what you guys do. Thank you for the donations. And I will see you guys probably Friday night if I do not pick up overtime. Obviously, if I pick up overtime, you won't see me. But other than that, guys, thank you for joining me.